Hey guys, welcome back to Amanda's Favorites. Today we're going to talk about the newly released Erin Condren Teacher Planner and the Simplified Teacher Planner. Let's start with the Erin Condren, but I have been asked and it's been requested that I do a comparison of these two. So we're going to do that. But we're going to start by walking through the Erin Condren. This is the 2019-2020 school year, but Erin Condren gives you two choices. You can choose July, starting it in July of 2019, which would mean it goes through June of 2020, or you can choose to pick it to be calendar year. So that would be January 2020 and the whole calendar year of January. There are places that run on a calendar year school year. I believe Australia does, and I know there's more than that, so that anyone internationally can make the Erin Condren Teacher Planner work for them. I think it's so brilliant that they have made those two choices for your start date. So either July of 2019 and it runs for a year through June of 2020, or have a calendar year of 2020 starting in January. If you are new to Erin Condren and you don't know, her covers are interchangeable. They snap off and snap on. There are several different choices. Her covers are also customizable. So many of them you can put your own quote or your name on it. This one, I didn't add my name or anything, but I love this cover that they chose for me. This planner was sent to me by Erin Condren and my contact there, Samantha Kerr. So thank you so much. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to review this. I'll give you a little background on myself if you don't know me. I was a public school teacher for 3 years a long time ago. My first year teaching was 19 years ago. So a long time ago, I taught public school for 3 years before I had my kids and stayed at home. And now I have been a homeschool mom for this was my 4th year. I just wrapped up my 4th year homeschooling. That feels like a huge success. That was for 4th grade. And my older son is in high school and he has never been homeschooled. So I've kind of experienced the gamut. I've been a parent taking a child through public school. I've been a public school teacher for a couple years, and then I have done homeschool for a couple years. What I plan to do is walk through each of these planners from front to back, and then at the end, just try to point out some of the major differences for you. So if you're trying to decide between the Erin Condren and the Simplified, that this video might be a help to you. Erin Condren Teacher Planner comes with a ruler that works really well. It's the same ruler that comes with her life planner. It snaps in and out easily. I was also sent some of the Erin Condren Teacher Planner accessories, and we will go through those after we run through the planner. And one of those accessories is a mini snap-in bookmark, which I also love. Her planner covers are made, like this is called a dashboard. You can actually write on this. She has wet erase fine tip markers you can buy at Erin Condren, which don't erase unless you erase them with something wet or if you have too much sweat on your hand, something like that. If you want to write something on here to be more permanent for, say, the whole year, like your schedule or your days off school, or you're divided up 6 weeks or 9-week term periods. If you want to write something permanent for the whole year, something I've done in homeschooling and I recommend is writing it in a Sharpie fine tip marker. Then it will not come off if you spill a drink or you have too much sweat on your hands or whatever. It won't come off the whole year, and anything you write on there will stay until you take it off then with rubbing alcohol, or you can also use nail polish remover. So that's something about her covers. You can also write on the inside of the back cover, but it's just not as accessible to see, I feel like, and it doesn't have lines on it. It's just a blank dashboard. You have your nameplate page. The Erin Condren Planner is $55. It is full-size pages. Your pages are 8.5 by 11. It's $55, and then you can add on a different color of ring color, like the gold rings are $10. It automatically comes with your silver ring color. If you want to add a different tone, gold, rose gold, black, those are her coil colors, then it is a $10 extra. You can put your name in there. All of Erin Condren's products are made in the USA, from the paper to being put together. They are hand coiled. And if you go on her website and watch her videos about that, I'm just going to say it's impressive to me. And I'm grateful every time I receive one of her products because someone has worked hard and put that together for me. Both the Erin Condren and the Simplified Planner use Mohawk paper, and they are both 80-pound Mohawk paper. So they both use wonderful paper, and we will get to pen tests in here. You will not feel better planner paper. Really, this is like my favorite planner paper. It even smells good, you guys. You have an all about me page for your classroom information and resources. This planner can also be used, any of these teacher planners, for homeschooling. Easily these pages can be converted for what you might need in homeschool. And somebody who has a whole blog post about that is Jen Mackintosh, and I will link her blog post down below. She is a homeschooling mama of I can't remember how many years, 18 years, around there, something like that. She is well experienced, well versed, and she uses the Erin Condren Teacher Planner for homeschool. I know I'm going to get asked. I've used the Erin Condren Teacher Planner for homeschool 1 year, and I loved it. But what I realized, it was just more than I needed. And I'm someone who doesn't try to make more work for myself, even though I love something and I really want to use it and want to make it work in my life. Only homeschooling one child with the curriculum we use. Now, Jen Mackintosh has built her own curriculum, and I can see how if I did that, I would need to use a planner like this to keep track of it. But she has built her own curriculum, and therefore you will see on her website of how a teacher planner, plus she homeschools multiple children. I only have one child, and our curriculum really helps dictate itself. So all I would be writing is like lesson number 1 in history, lesson number 5 in math, so I don't need quite this much room. I do use an Erin Condren notebook to keep track of all our homeschooling stuff and books we've read and poems we've memorized. But I have used it 1 year, and if I could find a way to use it again, I would. Many people who don't homeschool use this planner for various reasons, especially if you have an office job Monday through Friday, any job Monday through Friday where you don't need weekends, or if you're working on only blog posts, Facebook, social media, if you're an influencer or something like that, and you only need Monday through Friday, you could definitely utilize this planner or any teacher planner. We're going to jump right back in. I'm sorry, I wanted to get all that information out while it was fresh on my mind before I forgot it. We have an events and volunteers page, so you can keep track of that, who you want to thank at the end of the year. And that is on a tabbed page that says contact. That's your next section. And your tabbed pages are thicker, like cardstock, or even thicker than the normal 80-pound paper. And the Erin Condren tabs are very hefty. They have never come off for me. They can handle a lot of abuse. You have a communication log here, which you can definitely cover up with washi tape or stickers and make into a reading log or anything else you want to log if you're a homeschool mom, field trips. Then you have your 2019-2020 year at a glance. Since this is the one that starts in July, you're going to have both years. I love how you have a tabbed page to note every little section, your contacts, your year at a glance. It makes it very easy to find all these things. Then you have your year plan. This, is your map of the year. In school, you can map out where you want to be in each unit by whatever time, or however your school dictates and goes through your units. In homeschool, there are so many ways you can use this. You can note the extra special things you're doing that month here, like field trips. You can note what read alouds you did that month, or just map out your general plan of the year. So I do love this page. One thing I wish is that if you were getting the July book starting in July and running through, our normal school year here in the US, I wish that July would start over here. Now, of course, I'm okay. I can make it work starting here and then going over here. Or I could cover it up with stickers if I wanted to and start my July over here. But it would just be nice if it was already set up that way. Graph paper is your next section. This is great for being able to, if you need to draw out your classroom layout, but it can also just be used for notes or anything else. If you specifically need graph paper or if you just need to use it for notes. Then you have 2 lined pages. So that's a good little note section under your graph page section there. You have 6 total pages there with 4 being graphed, 2 being lined, and then you go straight into your first month. Before every month, you're going to have a lined page with a nice motivational quote at the top, and then your lines are going to continue, and then dates to remember in July. This is something that's new this year. In your back pocket comes these date stickers. They used to list out like what holidays were coming up in that month. But everyone might not celebrate the same holidays, or everyone might not want to know about Constitution Day is the 17th of September. They also listed things like National Authors Day, National Family Literacy Day, just things teachers might want to know, but people who are not teachers who are using this might not want to know about that. So they've made them into stickers now. You can either use these stickers right here for dates to remember in your month, and they match your color of the month. So here's our July. There's not too many in July, but I think it's nice how they gave you the rest in every month being blank. So you can fill those in with anything special you have coming up that month. It can be a field trip, or it can just be something special your class is doing. Or it can be birthdays that you want to remember in your class or outside of your class. So you can either use those stickers here, or you can use them on the monthly layout, because they don't have your holidays printed on the monthly layout anymore. They want to give you a choice. I think this is a really great improvement. Then there's not a whole lot of holidays listed, a whole lot of things listed that don't pertain to you specifically. So that's something that comes in the back of every single Erin Condren planner this year. They have made improvements every single year, and this is the best year yet. This is my third year to review the Erin Condren Teacher Planner, and I am so impressed with it. After your 2 lined pages every month and your dates to remember, you go straight into the month. These colors are the same that are in the Erin Condren Life Planner for this year. The design is different. The Erin Condren Life Planner this year is a kaleidoscope design. Now they have taken this triangle design, which has been one of their popular covers, and they have turned it into this planner. I need to look up the name of this, and I will put it here. I forget the name of this design, but this is the design they took this planner from. It was one of their popular covers and, was printed on their notepads and such. And this was made into their planner design for this year. This geometric triangles. It reminds me of the mountains in the outdoors, and I really love it. They put it on this brand new planny pack, which we'll talk about later, is one of their new accessories, which carries your pens around with you and everything you might need to go with your planner. I'll bring in those accessories after we finish going through this. For your monthly layout, you have nice, big, huge squares. You have a typical Sunday start. You have your previous month and your next month in light gray. You have a note section, and you have a little month at a glance of your next month coming up. Your colors run, so July's color is the navy blue, and it runs throughout that whole month, and you kind of get this ombre effect on your page, which is beautiful. It is dated every day of the week here. You also have space to write in anything special that's going on that day of the week, kind of like a header for that day. Then you have 6 subjects, and you have a 7th note section right here. Now, if there was some reason why you needed to utilize this as like a 7th subject, you could definitely just draw a line across here and utilize this as a 7th subject area. But I think they have found out that most people don't need a 7th subject area, and most teachers want a notes or to-do list section there. This is a planner that runs horizontally, which most teacher planners do, so that you can fit in 6 subjects. So you have your 5 days going down vertically. And so for Monday, you do need it open to see your whole day at a glance. I like in this planner that you can flip it over and you can see your first half of the day. So if you don't have that much room on your desk, and then you flip it over and you can see your second half of the day. You can definitely utilize it like that and not have to have it open all the way all day. Here is the pen test I did. I used all my normal pens that I test, Sharpie pens, Papermate flares, Erin Condren dual tips, Pentel Energels, Pilot G2s. I even used a fountain pen, although I don't think teachers are usually going to be using a fountain pen, but I get that request a lot in my planner videos. A mild liner highlighter. So we're going to turn this over and look at this page. There was the fountain pen. Even the fountain pen is not coming through at all. Here was the column where all the pens were written, and you really cannot see a thing. There is not even what I call any ghosting in there, even for the fountain pen. So her paper always amazes me. It is a joy to write on. You can use whatever markers you want, teachers, any markers you want. Now, Sharpies, if you have a big old Sharpie marker, it will show through some. You know what? Since we're teachers, and I know how much we love to use Sharpies, I'm going to show you what a Sharpie would look like, a big old Sharpie marker. So that's what it would look like. You will have ghosting if you use a Sharpie, but it didn't even bleed through. There was no bleeding, but you will have ghosting if you want to write with a huge Sharpie marker. Of course, I used a Sharpie pen, and it does perfectly on there. and doesn't come through. I'm going to go ahead and show you what happens at the end of your month now. At the end of every month, you get 2 lined pages for notes or for future planning. Definitely if you have meetings during the month and you want to kind of keep your notes with that month, or just future planning notes, things you want to remember. You have 2 lined pages at the end of your month, and then you go right into your 2 pages to start your next month and start with your new color. I love that. I plan in the Erin Condren Life Planner just normally for my weekly planning. I love to see a brand new color every month. It's like a fresh start. Her colors flow with the seasons and the holidays here in the US, and it just makes me happy. I like the little details, like the little asterisks for every month are the color of that month. Your tabs match the color of the month also, and then you go into your monthly, and if you look the way a week looks when it switches, it goes right into your new color, welcoming in August. It's a very visual switch. Now that we know the flow of the planner, I'm going to go ahead and just show you the color for every month. So September is a nice deep dark purple, and every month's quote is different. I love motivational quotes. October is orange, which I just couldn't be happy, really, if October wasn't orange. November is a nice teal. We're going into that fall season. December is this lime green. I used to not be a huge fan of this being in December, but all of Erin Condren's holiday stickers go so well with this lime green, and even for this traditional gal, her Christmas stickers really tie in this color. If you're using any of her Christmas stickers at all for decorating, it works for me now. I feel like it works for my traditional heart. Then you go into January, which is a darker, more saturated hue of teal. It's a different color than November. Then you go into February, which is a beautiful pink. March is a light green. April is a beautiful purple. May is the only color that I'm not in love with in the Erin Condren Planner. I really love all the other colors. May, I cannot get excited about. I just don't love peach. I don't know, or I don't love it on the planner pages. I'm not sure what it is. It just doesn't make me excited. So I don't get excited about the May color. I get excited when May's over, but every other color I love. June is a nice dark green when everything turns green in the world. And then July, you don't get July in this planner because it just gives you 12 months, but they actually give you the July planning pages. And then they give you, because your last 2 days of June go into the first week of July, so they give you those next 3 days. And you also get July monthly to plan ahead. So you get an extra month and you get that first week going into July to be able to plan ahead. Then you have a checklist section. Now this is something in Erin Condren that's really cool. You can add checklist pages on. So if this isn't enough for you, it's already a lot. You have 7 full 2-page spreads of checklists. If you need more, you can add on more for a very nominal fee. I cannot remember how many you can add on. Right here where your names go, you can fold and cut on the dotted line there so you don't have to rewrite your class names every time. This is very helpful. As a homeschool mom, you can use this for different things you need to check off and keep track of too. And Jen on Jen Plans uses this for her room mom stuff, checking off who paid for what for different teachers' gifts and parties. And I love that you can add on more. There's your really beautiful triangle inspired design this year. You have 4 pages, I think, of stickers. Yes. They also make a teacher planner sticker book. I will show you the accessories. Every page has foiling on it. These are gold foiling, motivational quotes, functional stickers to just stand out and note things when meetings are or field trips. And then my favorite sticker to use in my normal life planner, these label stickers. I love the colors. They redid them in this year. They are beautiful to just event labels to mark events, meetings, times for things. Then you have your holiday stickers, which come in the pocket. This is a full-size pocket. It can fit a full-size sheet of paper. It can hold quite a bit. And then your back pocket, this was another improvement. They made full-size also. I wanted to be able to check if it holds a full-size piece of paper. I thought I did, but I wanted to make sure. And so I grabbed a piece of printer paper that I had here in my office, and it slips in and out perfectly in the front. In the back, it doesn't. Because of the design of the pocket, I guess with the coil, it has to come in a little bit. Full-size piece of paper actually cannot fit in the back pocket. You would have to fold it over. Something else I love about the Erin Condren Teacher Planner, and I used when I used the Teacher Planner, is this really thick page protector that comes with every teacher planner, but you can add a few extra on. I utilize this to put our school calendar in, but there are so many other things you could put in here. Let me tell you a trick. You can order more of these. It fits your full-size piece of paper, as you can see. It's really thick. It's not like a normal thin page protector. You can order a couple more. I can't remember, maybe up to 3 or 4, or just maybe like $2 each, I think. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Here's the cool thing that Jen Mackintosh taught me. You can snip along this, and you can buy Erin Condren coil clips like this, and they have 3M adhesive. You can stick them onto your pocket. So if you don't want this in the back, because you might want your charts in the front to look at, or you might want to be able to move them around during the year, move them to every month that you're on. You can snip this out, cut a straight line, hook on your coil clip connector, and then hook it anywhere in your planner that you need. And they make these coil clip connectors in different sizes. So you can hook that on and hook it anywhere you need in your planner. Then you can also resurrect and save your ones from previous years, cut them out, and use them in your new one. So they'll always be cut out with coil clip connectors. You can use them over and over all throughout your planner, and you could have as many as you want, collect them through the years. I absolutely love that. Then with the Erin Condren, you have just her typical coil, and that's about how thick it looks with her teacher planner. With having a whole year in here, it definitely, thickens up the book a little bit than a 9-month school year. If you didn't want those extra months for pre-planning or post-planning, you could always take them out and it would lighten your book just a little bit, but that's just an idea I'm throwing out there. We're going to run through teacher planner accessories that I was sent from Erin Condren, and then we're going to go through the Simplified Teacher Planner. These are my favorite little bookmarks from Erin Condren. They are called her mini snap-in bookmarks. They come in all different designs. These are just the ones they sent me. They're so cute. Apples. I love them because they don't take up much of your page at all, like the ruler does. The ruler is nice to have, though, in case you need a long straight edge for drawing a line. It's nice to leave it in your planner to use it for that. But if you need to mark mini sections in your planner, like you want to mark the week you're on, and then you want to go mark your checklists, and you want to mark something else, these are really nice to have. They snap in and out so easily. They're so thin. They don't add any bulk. They have some very cute new washi tape. This is just some of it. Gold foiled apples and colored apples are fun to decorate with. And I am really loving her stylized sticky notes for the teacher planner this year. They took the triangle motif. It just looks beautiful, and it doesn't look like teacherish with apples on it or anything like that. Anyone could use these. They are just sticky notes of all different sizes, and this snaps in to your planner so that you can have easy access to it right there in the front of your planner. Now, this is a genius book. I have heard so many people on my Instagram say that they want to get this and they are not a teacher because there are numerous uses that people are thinking of. First of all, it's a beautiful journal. There is gold foiling on the back and the front. I think this makes a fantastic teacher gift for the end of the year, the beginning of the year, teacher appreciation, anytime. You even have This Book Belongs To done in gold foiling, and the inside cover pages are just beautiful too. All your inside pages are checklists. So you have columns down. So if I counted right, you have 26 names down, or about that many. So it should cover any class. And then you have 7 columns across. So you could use it for just anything you can think of. I mean, I'm thinking just at home, I already have something like this drawn out in another little notebook. I drew it out in a graph paper notebook of just a checklist of house chores that I do sporadically, throughout the months, and I want to keep track of when they were done. That's something you could use it for. It could be for bills every month. Those are the things that come to my mind right now, but it's a mini checklist. It's the right size that you would also need for homeschooling. I mean, of course, you don't need 26 spots, most likely, but it's a nice compact size, and it will last you so long because there's so many checklists. I love this book. I think it's going to be a big seller for them. The quote on the front also happens to be a favorite quote. I love that. Successful people are simply those with successful habits. Then you have the Planny Pack. If you're not familiar with Erin Condren, the Planny Pack can hold a lot of pens, scissors, whiteout tape. It holds a lot. It zips up. It's lined in material. This one happens to be hot pink material. It's really nicely made. Also makes a nice gift if you stick some pens or Erin Condren dual tip markers in here, which are a favorite of mine. Here's the thing though, I've been asked a lot, and there's a pocket on the back. You could slip your phone in. It's lined with this really soft felt-like material. So you could stick sticky notes, your phone, whatever you want to. This fits Erin Condren 7x9 planners perfectly, and it fits any 7x9 planner perfectly, or a planner around that size. But being as these are 8.5 by 11, to put it over the planner, it was very hard to get over the planner because it's not made for this size of planner. It's a very tight fit. I mean, it does stretch to that size, and perhaps after stretching it so much, there's not much stretch left though. So much through the year, it might stretch out a bit and make it easier to get it on and off because it wasn't easy to get on, but you could make it fit if you want to. Another thing I saw, I can't remember, I think Jen Plans did this. She stuck it on this way, and that's an option. It fits better, but it will go like into your coil like that. But if you wanted to carry it around like that, that is an option too. If you don't even want to hook it on your planner, just to have your pens, white out, a little 6-inch ruler, those type of things with you in here, stick your phone in it, always with you. It's a nice little pouch to have. I mean, it also works great to put in a purse for many things. It has numerous purposes. Then you have a dashboard specifically made for teachers, but I also think it works great for moms. It's a Monday through Friday, and Saturday and Sunday are tiny down here. You can put maybe all your family typical planned activities to kind of know how your days are going to flow with the new school year. Then teachers could use it for things on elementary school. What days do we go to art, music, PE specials, something like that? These are just things that come to my mind right off, but there are so many other uses. Before school and after school, like checklists, things you want to remember to do. And like I said, this is the same as her dashboard in here. She has fine tip wet erase markers if you want to be able to erase it weekly or even daily with just a wet wipe. But then you can also write on it with a Sharpie, like I have, fine tip marker if you want it to stay a long time, for months or even the whole year. Then the back are just 6 boxes you can use for anything, notes you need to remember, or stick sticky notes on here. It's just, this is a really useful dashboard, and you can stick it anywhere in your planner you want. It just pops right in, just like her interchangeable covers. Now you don't have to stick it in the front. You could stick it in the back. It pops in that easy. They turn this easily too. Now this fits her 7x9 planner. So if you're just using a normal planner, not a teacher planner, you can also. And the last teacher accessory I was sent to be able to share with you guys is a sticker book. I'm excited even to use in my normal planner. Even if you're not a teacher, you might be excited to get the sticker book. Some really functional box stickers, like notebook paper looking, and powerful motivational quotes with the gold foiling. And the book itself is just beautiful. This also would make a really cute teacher gift. Then you have just some graph paper and pins and flags. I think they did a stellar job on the sticker book this year. Rose gold foiling and some trackers for the whole week, Monday through Sunday. It could be for habits, but it could be for, keeping track of things at school. Silver foiling, stickers, awesome. Big day, great job. Then you have some important birthdays today, reminders, field trip, conference, assembly, some functional stickers to write in, days of the week circles here. And then these are really awesome. They're clear, they're see-through, and I will show you what they do. These little dots, she also sells a similar pack if you need more than this. And this is your 2019-2020 year at a glance. Basically, these could mark all your days off school. So you could do like your days off are a certain color. Your first day of school is a certain color. And then your teacher work days are another color. You can mark different days of the year. So at a glance, it's easy to see which days are off school, which days are teacher work days. I love these motivational quotes. Silver foiling is so beautiful too. I always think I'm more attracted to the gold until I see a whole page of silver foiling. And then I think, how cute are those binder clips and those meeting boxes? Then these are transparent kind of icon stickers. And then some more glossy and some transparent with gold foiling. It's just a really beautiful book. You get this entire book. Erin Condren also sells some other sticker books, but this is the cool for school one. That wraps up the Erin Condren. Let's jump into the Simplified Teacher Planner runs $5 more than the Erin Condren. It is $60. It is a hard cover with gold foil capped edges there. You have some gold foiling on the front. Now you don't have cover choices with Simplified. It's this one thin happy stripe is their cover this year. And then their binding is covered so that I'm pretty sure that their thinking was instead of having a coil or O-ring binding, this would slip in and out of a teacher work bag better. And then you have the school year 2019-2020 printed right there on the side in gold foiling too. So it is a coiled planner with an O-ring inside, but it is in a bound book. And I will tell you, it functions perfectly. It opens and shuts so easily anywhere you are in the book, shuts, and is easy to pick up and go with, take to a meeting, put in your bag. Here's a comparison of the Erin Condren and the Simplified. They're pretty much the same size because they both have 8.5 by 11 paper inside of them. The Erin Condren is a thicker planner. It's a little bit heftier, and you do have the coil. I wouldn't say there's a lot of extra pages in there, but there are some extra, so it makes it a teeny bit thicker. And then you have the coil. You have to balance. Coil lets you be able to turn your planner over and be able to only have one side showing or the other, so not taking up your whole desk. And without the coil, you can't do that. Those are your pros and cons. The inside of this is lined in navy. You have some stickers that come with your Simplified planner also, some icon stickers with gold foiling, and these are more running with the colors of your Simplified planner. Some more icon stickers of like everything in the world, cupcakes, cameras, Starbucks cups, calculators, painting easels. Then these are my favorite from Simplified. These are just really fun, big with the brush lettering, first day of school and fall break type of stickers, no school, meeting, planning day, copies. Then you have some field trips, meetings, laminates, planning day. You have some blank labels. So you also have 4 pages of stickers total in the Simplified planner. What I always do with all my stickers in any planner where they come in it, I always cut mine out and then keep the ones I use in the back pocket, like in my Erin Condren. I just find it harder to come up here and get a sticker off and go find the page. I like to pull my stickers out and look at them with the page I'm on. You have a nameplate page. You have a letter from Emily, and her sister-in-law, I believe, is Taylor, who is a former teacher and who helped to design this planner and now works for Simplified. You have an About Me page, or 2 About Me pages, and to keep track of some login information. And then it's a looking back page of like what worked last year, what didn't work, then ideas for new routines, things I'd like to do with my class this year, weekly routine for your class Monday through Friday, and daily routine before and after school. Then you have your first tab section. These tabbed pages do not feel on any thicker paper to me. They feel on the same 80-pound Mohawk paper, which is amazing paper, but they're not on like the thicker cardstock paper like the Erin Condren was. This one says class, and then here is your kind of class to keep track of student names, parent name, phone numbers, emails, username, and password for each child, I guess in case they forget theirs for different things in school. I don't know because I haven't taught in 19 years, but I do have a son in high school. I do have a sister that taught for like 6 or 8 years, I can't remember, until just a couple years ago. And I'm not sure, but from what I hear from her and other teacher friends is this kind of information is just usually all in the computer. It even was when I was teaching 19 years ago. So I'm not sure that you would want to rewrite all that out in your planner. Teachers, you tell me, am I way off base here? I'm wondering, since I haven't been there in so long, but everything seems online now, like about that. But that's kind of like your class list. Phone numbers, parent informations, and emails. Your values and procedures for your class, so kind of like a brainstorming page to come up with that. Education inspiration, use this space to record quotes, ideas, and big dreams for your next year. Then you have substitute information and emergency information. Now, I don't know about this, but I would never leave my planner with a substitute. And this was 19 years ago, but I always had a whole substitute folder with extensive typed up substitute plans to go. I would never be leaving them with my planner. I don't know that you need that in here. You could use it as an extra notes page. Any teachers chime in. I would love to hear if you would actually leave your planner with a substitute. Emergency info. I also don't know that you need that in here. This could just be extra notes room. If you need to scribble notes during the year, let me know. because even when I was teaching, all this information comes to you from the school and it is all typed up, and it's a very, procedure based thing, and it's not something I would need to write out in here, rewrite. So those pages you may not use and you might use for extra notes, but I'd love to hear from actual people teaching right now. Then you have student checklists, just like you have in the Erin Condren. You don't have as many. You only have 3 2-page spreads of checklists here, 3 2-page spreads, and now you can't add any more to Simplified like you can with Erin Condren. I do love how every section is tabbed in the Simplified also. Your calendar, year at a glance, 2019 and 2020. I love those cute little striped planners at the top. This planner is based on her months on her happy stripe colors, just like her Simplified planners. Then you have 2019 holidays and 2020 holidays laid out for you. So they're kind of all here listed out, and you can take note of which ones are important to you in the classroom. Your school year overview, now your 12 boxes in the Simplified are a lot smaller. They're on 1 page, whereas your 12 boxes in the Erin Condren were broken out into a 2-page spread. Then you have a daily overview, so a time, where your class is, what they're doing, and what activity. So that's kind of like your time schedule for the day, which I can see you using in elementary school. Then you have a note section. You have a good chunk here of notes pages, lined and then graph. You have around 10 pages of lined, and then you have around 12 or 14 pages of graph paper. So that's a big note section right there in the middle, kind of after your beginning information and then right before your year starts. Then you have your tab is on a month, just like in the Erin Condren. It opens to the month you're on. You have a note section every month, typical Sunday start, and then pretty good size boxes for your month also. Now here's something to note. The Erin Condren starts in July in case you want to do pre-planning or you're already going back to school to work at that time yourself. The Simplified starts in August and then runs through July of 2020. Every month you have a simplicity tip to kind of like, this one says, organize your classroom supplies, and it kind of goes on. Every month, she gives you a simplicity tip in her normal planners, so these simplicity tips just kind of flow along with what a teacher would need to do in her classroom. You have a look at your previous month and your next month's, and then you go into your week. Now, as a homeschool mom, I just kind of drew out in here what I would be laying out for homeschool, just real quick to show you what it looks like with writing on the page for also pen testing purposes. And then we'll go into a blank page so you can really see the layout. It's very similar to the Erin Condren in that you have your 5 days vertically down the side, and then you have 6 subjects along the top, and then you have your notes section, and then you have a view at your this month spread. It's the month that you're in. So this month, August. I used all the same different types of pens here, and we will turn over and look at this paper. You can see this Mohawk paper handled it really well. Also, there is the fountain pen, which you can kind of see a little bit, and that's really the only thing that is ghosting through a lot is the fountain pen. Everything else, I feel like this paper handled it really well. It's the thick, amazing Mohawk paper, feels great and performs well. Here is a blank week spread to be able to look at. In Simplified, your colors do not change monthly. Your tab colors change monthly, just like in her Simplified planners, and they just run through the happy stripe colors. And then whatever color tab you have is that color for the writing of the month up there. That's really the only place that monthly color is noted, is on your monthly layout. It's not even noted on your weekly layouts because it goes back to, it's always going to be navy here. So it tells you your month up here that you're on. Every day of the week is dated and you have a little flag. Every day of the week is assigned a color, just like in her Simplified planners, and that color does not change through the entire year. So Mondays are always navy, Tuesdays are that dark teal, Wednesdays are Kelly green, Thursdays are yellow, and Fridays are hot pink in here. You have her little Simplified emblem up here, and then your notes section and a look at that month. There are your 6 subjects laid out here. Now, if you needed to have a 7th subject area, just the way this page is done, it would be harder to draw those lines and make it look good. I feel it would go into the pineapple thing. But if you needed a 7th subject space, you could make that work. You also have a header space in your box every week here, but you have no lines in your boxes. I would say that's one of the major differences with Erin Condren. So I want to be able to show you this side by side while we're in the weekly layout. The weekly layout of the teacher planner is where the bulk of your time is going to be spent. It is where all the nitty gritty goes. All your work goes into these weekly layouts. So this is where most of your time is. This is a look at how the difference in the two weekly layouts. You can see the Erin Condren has really light dotted gray lines. So it's not harsh black, but it's really light dotted gray. And I myself am a messy writer. I prefer to write online. But I know some people would say, well, I can fit more in a box because I can write really tiny if I don't have lines. I definitely think that is just a personal preference. Let's look at the box sizes because I know I'm going to be asked that. So not where the color is. Taking the color out, you're about 4.5 centimeters in length. And this box is almost just about 4.5 centimeters. This is almost just a square at 4.5 centimeters. And I bet this one is too. Now this one's a little wider at almost 5 centimeters. So your Erin Condren box is a tad bit bigger, but not a huge amount. There are 7 lines in your box here and 5 lines under your day of the week here. So 7 lines in your box and 5 under your day of the week. This is the difference in what your page looks like. Then if you flip it, this is the difference on your other side of your weekly layout. So you can see there are big differences. It's really just comes down to personal preference. Both of these I feel like are wonderful teacher planners made with amazing paper, both of them, quality planners, really beautiful, fun colors. I don't think you can go wrong with either one, to be honest. They're both what I call in the category of luxury planners, amazing planners. Let's finish running through the Simplified Teacher Planner. Holidays are written in right here in the Simplified Planner, right there on your exact day that the holiday falls on. And your holidays are written in a really light gray on your monthly layout. That is another difference, that your holidays are written in here. So once you get to the end of your year, let's look at what the end of the Simplified looks like. This is your last week going through July 31st. It happens to end on a Friday. So that's perfect. There's no extra pages to deal with. Then they included one pocket folder. The sad thing about this pocket folder to me is that it does not fit a full size. Here's a piece of printer paper I stuck in here to show you guys. Let me work it. You can make a full size of printer paper almost fit and go down, but you have to sit here and work at it, and it barely can get in there, as you can see, because it bumps right up against the coils. I don't know why they didn't make this folder a little bit bigger. Hopefully next year, because this was their first crack at the teacher planner, and hopefully they will realize this, and next year they'll make this folder a little bit bigger, because teachers need to be able to stick a full-size sheet of paper in a folder. You will have to fold over your papers and stick them in. Your Simplified Planner ends with this pocket folder. It's the same on the front and the back. It's really cute polka dots, and it comes with this beautiful card, "The Work You Do Matters," that you could stick up on a bulletin board in your room by your desk, or stick anywhere in your classroom that you want, and a little thank you from the Simplified team. That's really a beautiful card in navy and gold. And the work you do, it's always good for us to remember it matters. Your Simplified Teacher Planner can close perfectly from the back like that. It really is just a little bit more of a compact book than the Erin Condren. We'll have less of a problem sliding in and out of a bag with the binder system. And it opens perfectly. Thanks for sticking with me through this longer video. I would love to hear your thoughts, your comments. I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Please leave me a comment if you have any thoughts on these planners. If you're a teacher, I would especially love to hear your thoughts on these planners. And if you've used the Erin Condren before, I know no one's used the Simplified before, because this is the first year that the Simplified Planner is out, the Simplified Teacher Planner. Can't wait to hear what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Happy planning, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.